What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Give my videos a like and leave me a comment down below. And everybody, be sure to share my videos with all of your friends and family members so they can also enter to win a free Amazon gift card. So be sure to subscribe to my channel, share my videos, turn on post notifications, and give my videos a like.
This committee has very broad jurisdiction dealing with any policy that impacts the federal budget. That's a lot of stuff out there. And at a time when our country faces an unprecedented series of crises, this will be a very active committee in which we will be exploring many issues, including trying to get an understanding of what is happening to the working class of this country, the middle class, and lower income Americans. And I hope we're going to have those good discussions in a civil manner. The American people need to hear different points of view. They need to get an understanding of why what is happening in this country is in fact happening. In general, we don't do a good job as members of Congress. The media doesn't do a good job. And I hope this committee will have civil, serious debates.
Biden is wanting a full exchange of views. Jen Psaki reiterated that he remains in favor of moving forward with a far-reaching relief package. Jen Psaki said, with the pandemic posing a grave threat to the country and economic conditions grim for so many, the need for action is urgent and the scale of what must be done is large. Now, this meeting between Republicans and Joe Biden would amount to the most public involvement for Biden in the negotiations for the next round of stimulus relief. The Democrats and the Republicans are very far apart in their proposals for assistance and challenging Biden to fulfill his pledge of unity. The Republican group said in their letter to Joe Biden that his counter-proposal will include a total of $160 billion for vaccines, testing, treatment, and personal protective equipment. They have also made a call for more targeted relief than Biden's plan to issue $1,400 checks to most Americans. What do you think, guys? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Should every American in the United States get a one-time payment of $1,400?
Worst public health crisis in more than 100 years. Real unemployment is over 11%. Over 23 million Americans are either unemployed, underemployed, or have given up looking for work altogether. Unbelievably, more than half of American workers are living paycheck to paycheck and are just one medical emergency, one car accident, one lost paycheck away from financial disaster. In America, disgracefully, we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. The COVID-19 pandemic is still raging across the nation and is responsible for taking the lives of more than 450,000 Americans. And obviously, all of us hope that we're going to address that crisis as rapidly as possible. But meanwhile, in the midst of that pandemic, over 90 million Americans are either uninsured or underinsured, and we remain the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care.
And I know many of you have kids as well. The president wants schools to open safely and in accord with science. And we are going to listen to science and medical experts. The CDC guidelines, we expect them to come out tomorrow. We are eager to hear more about the clear science-based guidelines for opening schools and how we can do that safely and how we can keep them open. The president will not rest until every school is open 5 days a week.
All of our people. We've got a climate crisis that is ravaging nations all over the world, including the United States of America. We have an affordable housing crisis where so many of our people are literally paying half of their incomes for rent. We have a racial injustice crisis in America today that this Congress is going to have to address, and we have an immigration crisis as well. And given all of these unprecedented crises, it is absolutely imperative that we have an OMB director who has the courage at this moment in American history to think big, not small. We need an OMB director who is prepared to stand up to powerful special interests who dominate the economic and political life of this country, including what goes on here in Congress.
Folks, here's what you have to know about SSI and SSDI. The Social Security Disability Insurance Program pays benefits to you and certain family members if you are insured, meaning that you worked long enough and recently enough, and paid enough Social Security taxes on your earnings. The Supplemental Security Income Program pays benefits to disabled adults and children who have limited income and resources. And while the Social Security and Supplemental Security Income Disability programs are different, the medical requirements are the same. If you meet the non-medical requirement criteria, monthly benefits are paid if you have a medical condition.
We need an OMB director who can work with the President and Congress to create an economy that works for all of us and not just wealthy campaign contributors. Now, Ms. Tandon, at a time when the wealthy and large corporations have extraordinary influence over the economic and political life of this country, I must tell you that I am concerned about the level of corporate donations that the Center for American Progress has received under your leadership. According to the Washington Post, since 2014, Center for American Progress has received at least $38 million from corporate America, including Wall Street and every special interest that I can think of. So before I vote on your nomination, it is important for me and members of this committee to know that those donations that you have secured at CAP will not influence your decision-making at the OMB. Further, I would like to hear how you plan to work with this committee and the Congress to enact the promises that President Biden made to the American people. I think one of the reasons that so many people are disillusioned with politics in America, given up on democracy, politicians make promises and they run away from those promises. President Biden made a series of promises, and I'm going to work with him to make sure that we implement those promises. President Biden promised to raise the minimum wage over a period of several years to at least $15 an hour. He promised to make public colleges and universities tuition-free for working families and to substantially reduce student debt. He promised to lower the Medicare eligibility age from 65 down to 60 and to also cut the outrageously high prices of prescription drugs in America. President Biden promised to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure and create millions of good-paying jobs and combat climate change. He said he would fight to make pre-K universal, to make sure that every 3- and 4-year-old in America has the quality child care and pre-K education.
Hope you guys found it informative. I put a lot of work into these videos, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notifications.